What's going on, guys? Thanks for coming to Politics and Life. This is Jordan. Hope you all are having a blessed day. I am actually in California, and as we know, the wildfires in LA area has been a tragic situation. I'm sure everyone's heard of it. Seems like it could have been prevented. Trump was talking about 3 months ago on the Joe Rogan show on what's causing these fires, how it can be prevented, and what we need to do in the future to prevent them. And as you know, the Democrats don't care, don't say nothing, pretend like it's all good, and that nothing that they do or the policies that they produce dictates or actually contributes to these wildfires that are happening and not actually going down. It's actually getting worse. It seems like as of today, I believe 5 were reported dead, which is a tragedy. My prayers go out to them and their families and the ones who are stuck out in that hellhole right now. As taxpayers, we shouldn't have to worry about these kind of things happening. I keep hearing people say that they could be prevented, but as we know, that never happens because they just continue to happen. Hey, Ruth, I hope you're having an amazing day. Sorry, I meant to text you earlier back. I was just hectic work day, but I promise did not ignore you. I actually showed my girlfriend also your pictures of your newborn granddaughter. So gorgeous, so beautiful, and I'm so happy for you. I hope you're having a great day. I hope everything's going good. California is a giant crime. Yes, sure is. There's a few people that are videos that I saw of people talking about what's happening. So we're just going to kind of react to it together. Yeah, she's very cute. Very cute. The cutest granddaughter ever, I'd like to say. But yeah, we're going to react to a couple people. And supposedly they asked Mayor Karen to resign or asked her what she thought of the fires. And she completely ignored this journalist. So let's react together.
Do you owe
Like, comment, subscribe.
citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position?
She should.
Madam Mayor, have you
I really believe that the whole Democrat Party in general is incompetent. They can't do nothing right. They're woke DEI hires. They produce zero benefit for any of us. Instead, they want to fund these illegals and continue these overseas wars. I think they just sent another 500 million to Ukraine the other day, but they're literally talking about giving $500 for people in LA that literally just lost their whole lives. Complete incompetence. Yes, I agree, Ruth. They just take the tax money and do nothing. Supposedly, we were supposed to have bullet trains in California, my father was telling me earlier, and we've passed multiple bills. I believe he said it was hundreds of millions for these bullet trains. Now they're talking about another bill, a third bill. Where's the other ones? Where they haven't been produced. Why are we still passing bills on these bullet trains, which are just faster trains, and nothing's being produced because the money goes right back into the pocket of these corrupt bureaucrats? It's disgusting behavior, and it's an amazing feeling that people are waking up. It took long enough, but people are waking up now like never before.
absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
She just walks away. Look at that. She just runs away. Doesn't have enough respect for the American people to even respond or say, hey, yeah, I should have done this. I should have been there for the people of my state that I'm supposed to represent. Instead, she runs away like a coward because that's what the Democrat Party are. They're cowards and they're commies.
Madam Mayor, let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
No. Hold on 1 second.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
Can you take this down?
David, as you say, she wasn't very keen
No
to
respect.
answer any of your questions there. And fire chiefs are also admitting that they just don't have enough personnel to take out the fires.
Yeah, they're fighting.
I agree, Ruth. And I already think that California is red. I really believe that. The love that I see throughout the state of California is just crazy. If you want to talk about in regards to Kamala versus Trump, it's just unmatchable, I believe. I really do believe that. But I know there's some cities in California that are very blue. But I don't even think it's close. I really don't. If we had same-day voting, no ballot situations, which I thought because of COVID, now that it's over, we should be able to go back to single-day voting. But they know that's the only way they can win is by bringing in illegals to have them vote.
All sorts of challenges. They're talking about a water shortage. There are reports of fire hydrant failures. They've been unable to use firefighting aircraft for much of the day due to the smoke that is billowing ominously from the hills where the wildfires are raging. And I suppose despite that political storm, this is, of course, at its heart, a human story, because we've now 80,000 people evacuated. Tens of thousands of others are on standby to be evacuated. 2 lives have been lost in the Eaton fire, which is what's causing the consequence behind us. The city's iconic landscape almost shrouded completely by the smoke. And they're really just taking it one step at a time, hoping at some stage the wind's going to change direction or to die down, and that they're going to be able to get this fire under control.
How many more events have to happen before our government or our military step in? Thank the Lord that Trump is coming back. We have 12 days total, guys. We should be celebrating every single day. I mean, the fact that Palestine, Ohio, Hawaii, and all, North Carolina, all these tragedies continue to happen. FEMA's nowhere to be seen. They help zero. Our own government, led by Joe Biden, literally nowhere to be seen, falling asleep, pooping himself live. It's such a joke. We look so weak on the world stage. I cannot wait till he comes back. We need him now more than we've ever needed a leader before. Here's another guy from California explaining how this could have been prevented and how Trump actually predicted this happening.
Last night, I had to evacuate my home in LA because of the fires, the effects of which you can see right above me. Upon reflection.
Also, Ruth, I don't know if you heard, they fired a crap load of firemen due to not getting it. And so they're also very low staffed in regards to firemen. Disgusting. Yeah, there's so many things that could have prevented this.
I remembered a conversation that Joe Rogan had with Donald Trump before the election about the state of wildfire management in California. It's very easy to think of wildfires as something that Mother Nature just inflicts upon us, but we have an influence over both the intensity and the frequency of these fires. And Donald Trump pointed out that there's 2 things that we've done in California that might be exaggerating the effects of these fires. The first is our policy around water management, and the second is our policy around clearing deadwood in our forests. Check this out.
Los Angeles, you can't get proper amounts of water.
Right.
And it's unbelievably expensive. And
it seems like Alex Jones has been saying this for a while now. They're putting stuff in our water, not just our water, but our food. Not also the food in the sky. Has anyone noticed lately how crazy the skies are looking? They don't look like normal clouds. And it seems like there's a lot of planes releasing whatever you call it. I don't know the exact term, but these are not normal clouds, and everyone's been commenting about this. Not also that, but let's talk about the UFOs that are supposedly, or the drones that are flying over. It's nonstop chaos, and they need us divided. That's exactly what it comes down to. But Trump's going to come in. He's going to eliminate all these unelected bureaucrats, also these elected treasonous bureaucrats, and bring America back to what its founders meant for it to be. America first.
And they're actually thinking about rationing water. Can you believe it? I was in the farm court country with some of the congressmen. We're driving up a highway. And I say, how come all this land is so barren? It's farmland. And it looked terrible. It was just brown and bad. I said, but there's always that little corner that's so green and beautiful. They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why do you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north of water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish The water up north gets.
Is it me or am I getting sick? I am getting sick saying Trump was right again. I mean, every single thing that Trump has predicted happened or was going to happen has happened. He's like a fortune teller of just knowing what's coming. I mean, I've gotten to the point where when it comes to Democrat policies, I can always predict before it happens what's going to happen because they are so predictable. They think you're stupid when they're the ones that are very stupid. There's an old movie called Chinatown, and it's about manipulating water. Yep, he's brilliant. Yeah. Not just manipulating the water, but the sky, the food, everything. We're literally getting screwed with on every means.
It's routed into the Pacific Ocean. I could have water for all of that land, water for your forests. You know, your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You know, you could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires.
Now, let's look at specifically what Trump was referring to here. In 2023, California implemented what's called the Fall X2 policy. This is a policy that's designed to redirect water away from areas that endanger a specific species of fish called the Delta smelt. Proponents of this policy argue that the Delta smelt are important to indigenous populations, as well as important for the overall health of certain other endangered species in that area, like the Chinook salmon or killer whales. And that sounds good, but let's look at what the cost of protecting the Delta smelt actually is. In 2023, we dumped 195.5 billion gallons of water into the Pacific Ocean. That's water that could have been used for firefighting or watering farmlands. This is all happening while we're focusing on scarcity conservation-based policies, while we're dumping $200 million worth of water into the ocean to protect a relatively niche species. Now, that's how we've been wasting our water, but what about our forests?
And, you know, there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it. When a tree falls down, after 18 months, it becomes very dry. It's like, you know, like real firewood. It's bad. But when a tree is up, it sucks water. It's wet. I went to they had a couple of horrible forest fires in California. And I said, you know.
Yeah, it's just like how the government prevented people from getting help in Hawaii when the man-made from a government tragic disaster happened. The government is preventing any help from happening in every scenario, as it always comes back to the government preventing it when they could have prevented it, and instead they do everything to make it worse.
Well, you get a lot of trees standing.
They don't help at all.
Trees there. I said, with this intense heat, that you could see they were charred a little bit on the bottom, but they were going to be all right because they're soaking wet because they suck up the water, right? But when they fall,
right,
they're like, you know, it's like lighting a match.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to clean. They call it maintain your forest. So I was with the head of Austria. He said, you know, it's a shame. I see all those forest fires in California, and all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, you know, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
we'll certainly get rid of the deadfall.
And get rid of the trees that are falling.
I think that's the real issue.
You know, environmentally, they don't want to do that. They said, you know, it's got to be nature and all this stuff.
Is there some truth to Trump's claim? It turns out, yes. A 2024 study found that approximately 91.4 million dead trees were spread over 27.8 million hectares of land in California. Many people in the environmental lobby will argue that we need to preserve this deadwood, actually, because it contributes to the natural habitat that many endangered.
I love that idea, Ruth. Make the illegals clean it up. Yes, I mean, they're getting free everything already of our taxpayer dime while Americans are dying and barely getting by. Let these cocksuckers who broke into our country and are breaking our federal laws, attacking Americans, raping, killing, stealing from us financially, let them clean it up. I am so on board for that.
Species. Here's an example of where trying
to make them clean it up and then deport them. That's my only message.
To do good actually ends up doing bad. For approximately 10 years, there was an environmental lobby that opposed clearing deadwood in the Klamath National Forest because they were trying to protect the natural habitat of spotted owls and endangered species. This caused a multi-year legal battle that ironically resolved itself when the Klamath National Forest ended up actually burning down because of the deadwood that they were trying to use to protect the spotted owl population. These kinds of misguided attempts to protect the environment in California not only keep on ruining the environment, it's ruining human lives. And here's my personal frustration. California has the best land and the worst government in the United States.
Yes, this dude is just hitting every single note right on. Yes, Gavin Newsom is literally like the dumbest governor in all of the country. I mean, there is some really dumb Democrat governors, senators, House members, but he takes the cake. I mean, it's amazing that they think that he is the top candidate for 2028. I've been seeing a lot of Democrats on Twitter talking about that. What does he offer? There's nothing. This, as I was talking about the bullet trains earlier, 3 bills passed about having bullet trains in California, which are just faster trains, and none have been produced. So where did the money go? Where did the millions and millions of dollars go out of our taxes? Go to these bullet trains. They went nowhere. They went back into the pockets of these corrupt politicians. It's that simple.
States. We have incompetent politicians who constantly focus on things that sound good while actually doing bad.
Yep.
And they focus on first order consequences while ignoring second order consequences. They constantly focus on popular slogans like needing to protect our environment and climate change,
Yep.
and protecting the fish and protecting the trees while ignoring the second order impact on humans. And ironically, like in the case of the spotted owls, in their attempt to protect endangered species, not only are they harming humans, oftentimes they're not even protecting the endangered species.
Yeah.
And to take this a step further, I think California's government represents a dysfunctional, far left worldview that
Yeah.
is consistently not producing results, is just producing heated conversations. We spend more money on homelessness every year, while the amount of homeless people just keeps on increasing every year. We have reasonable people who are afraid to speak up because we don't want to be labeled as climate change deniers just for questioning some of these dysfunctional environmental protection policies. We have a governor in Gavin Newsom who left San Francisco a failed city and is slowly turning California into a failed state. This is the same.
I just posted a video today on my YouTube of the homeless crisis that's happening literally right across the street from my work, and nothing's being done to fix it. It's been going on for months. Nothing is being done to fix it. Yet we pass these bills that are supposed to help the homeless population. I don't know, maybe put them up in to get clean. What do they call those to get clean? Rehab. Put them in rehab. Put them in jail. Put them somewhere. But they can't be on the streets. They can't be outside of work, just chilling with campers lined up down a mile radius of a street. People don't feel safe. We don't feel safe leaving our vehicles there. There's just nothing good that's coming out of California under these corrupt Democrat politicians, which is why we need Trump to lock their asses up the minute he gets in.
Governor, by the way, that during COVID recommended that we quarantine at home while he dined at the French Laundry. Ultimately, in moments of crisis like this, I am grateful that we have a government, but our government could be doing a lot better.
Yeah, our government sucks, especially in the state of California, because they're all Democrat ran. There's nothing good that comes from the representatives that run this state, starting with Newsom down. So Shazam, the actor off Shazam, his name is Zachary Levi. I really like him. He's been getting his red pill moments lately. He actually commented tonight on Jesse Waters' show about the fires. So let's see what he has to say.
Yeah, this is just incredible mismanagement, incredibly poor leadership. I would go so far as to say that it's criminally negligent. Because
I've been thinking about that, Ruth, leaving California. I mean, we live in the most beautiful state that has been run into the gutter, but we also pay more for everything. I mean, I've always thought of Florida, Texas, Nevada, all beautiful red states. Right now, I feel like in order to thrive or have that safety feeling of your surroundings, or like for your kids, or what your kids are being told in school, you need to move to a Republican state. Otherwise, you're screwed, because you get drafted into the system from day one, the minute you get into school.
I mean, Gavin Newsom has been either the governor for 5 years, or lieutenant governor prior to that for 8-9 years. Some of the worst fires we've ever had in California under that watch. He clearly knows that the biggest problem that we suffer in California are these fires, and by the way, the mudslides that follow. And for them to do essentially, but worse than nothing, when firefighter budgets are being cut, when they are specifically intentionally not doing the work that could be done to avoid these problems, or to be able to effectively serve them when they are happening, we are losing. I mean, I think it's something like millions of acres of feet of water runoff from rain and snow every year in California. As you pointed out, I think the smelt have something to do with that. That's an acre foot of water, by the way, is about 330,000 gallons of water. And there's millions of those that are just rolling off into the ocean when they could be captured in cisterns. We'd have an ecosystem and safety measures that can keep all of these homes and people in these homes safe. And for some reason, they choose to do none of that. And
that's on purpose.
At some point, it goes beyond just whoopsie.
It's not whoopsie at this point. People need to stop saying this is a mistake. They are very dumb. One, I'll admit that, but it is on purpose, 1000%. All of this is on purpose. It's all preventable. I mean, we have actors. This guy's an actor. He's coming out saying this was all preventable. They don't care. It's on purpose. We have to start accepting that. Once you accept that, then we can start waking up the masses even more.
At some point, it goes beyond negligence. There's something that's almost criminally intentional about this. Like, what are they doing? I don't know.
So you mentioned criminal intent and you mentioned criminal negligence, because California can build anything. I mean, look at Silicon Valley, look at Hollywood. If they want to do something, California can do it. But you haven't built a single reservoir in 10 years? You're just letting water run into the Pacific because of what? A fish that no one's heard of? Does anybody care about the smelt fish?
Smelt fish.
I mean, listen, I think that both can be true. I think we can care about the smelt fish and we can care about our environment and also be able to value human life and the wonderful cities and civilizations that we have built and find some kind of a balance in all of that. Even still with the smelts, there's no reason why we couldn't have safeguards to prevent what is going on right now. This is just, it's absurd. But I would say at the end of the day, like I said, I don't know if there's criminal intent. I have no idea why they are doing or not doing the things that they are doing, but they must be held responsible. This is not good leadership. They
do need to be held responsible. I've been saying for the last 4 years, where's the military? Where's the police? Where's the people that are in charge to prevent these tyrants from selling out America for political gain and bribes by selling out to other countries? For example, Joe Biden. I mean, there's so much proof with the Hunter Biden laptop that he is corrupt and he is sold and bought by China. Where's the military? I thought we had the Constitution in place to where if this kind of stuff happens, we have things in place to you could take them out. I mean, it's ridiculous. At some point, like, how many people have to die before something happens?
Listen, this is the man who, in the middle of the pandemic, when people were being locked up for going and gathering together, he was at.
Yes, where's the IRS audit? Do you know 9/11, which is my birthday, that there was an audit that was taking place? I think it was the day before one of those 9/11 happened. There was an audit taking place in the exact building that a plane hit. And it was because, follow the money trails. Exactly. Ruth, you already know all this. I don't need to tell you this.
That French Laundry, having dinner with his friends. What does that say about the character of this man who is doing nothing to help the people of California? I don't believe that he is. And so I think that there needs to be some kind of, accountability that's held to the leadership, not just of California, but also of our nation. I mean, listen, there are people still in eastern North Carolina.
That's what I was just saying.
Are still climbing out of the rubble of the hurricane.
And what did they do to help those people? They gave them, what was it, $900 check, and then they spent the rest on their fancy hotels and actually millions on illegals with FEMA, which our taxes pay towards. This is so just irritating to see what our taxes are spent towards and how much our own government doesn't help Americans in need in like drastic situations like this. Just like a big middle finger to the face of every American and every taxpayer.
And that totally ravaged all of them in Florida and North Carolina and South Carolina. That's still happening, and FEMA completely dropping the ball there. What's going to happen now with Southern California? Is FEMA going to be there? By the way, one of the things that is almost most criminal in all of this, I don't know if you know this, but like 70% or so of the insured in Southern California that used to have fire insurance in their home months ago, this insurance was taken away. The insurance company said, no, we're not going to offer fire insurance anymore. What else? They don't need flood insurance. They need fire insurance. This is a fire hazard. Of course, that's the insurance that they need and that they want. And just months ago, this was stripped from people. Like this is not okay. It is not okay in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm hearing that State Farm yanked their coverage because the regulators in California wouldn't let them raise rates. So now millions of people don't have fire insurance and they've lost their homes and have nothing. And you're right.
That's another thing that pisses me off about all these stupid insurances. We already pay taxes out of our checks, every single damn check. And then for house, you got to get house insurance, you got to get car insurance, plus you got to get a car payment, plus you got to make registration payments every year. These charges are just ridiculous at some point. The people need to stop with all these extra taxes and payments. We get nothing from it at all. It's just disgusting.
Right. You mentioned North Carolina. Remember the Maui fires? Still devastation.
Yeah, Lahaina.
And they were staying in 5-star luxury resorts, FEMA was. So we expect more, we expect better, we expect dignity and competence in the United States of America. That's not too much to ask. I know there's been a recall in California, but there might have to be something else to hold Gavin Newsom accountable.
Yes.
A trial, a public humiliation, because if this isn't enough to step...
Treason trials is what needs to happen. That's exactly it. Nothing less than that. Treason, make it all live on television, make an effing point that when you F with Americans and our livelihood, that consequences happen, especially when you sell out.
To see what's happening in the Pacific Palisades in California, in Los Angeles. So many good friends who worked really hard for years and created beautiful homes for themselves and their families. It's all going up in smoke, and preventable, by the way. I mean, we have a mayor who cut the budget of the fire department in California by over $17 million.
So dumb.
Fire is the biggest hazard in Los Angeles. Why would you cut that budget? There was no water in the fire hydrants in the Palisades. And by the way, she wasn't even in town during like fire season. A completely stupid trip to Ghana. Completely.
Ooh, what's going on in Indiana? Is that a Republican state? I don't really know much about Indiana politics, Ruth. Maybe you could tell me. Curious, though, to know.
Unnecessary on taxpayer funds. Maybe stop doing those trips and fund the fire department. This is what's infuriating. I don't hate California. I love California. We had 32 beautiful years there, and the people running the show just decimated the place. Drugs, homelessness with mentally ill people on the streets, crime. Our next door neighbors were burglarized there. Taxes. What are you paying all these taxes for? To see your neighborhood go up in smoke.
Yeah.
It's so enraging that they took one of the most beautiful states, maybe the most beautiful state in the union, and just continued to destroy it. Gavin Newsom standing there with his hands in his pockets. Oh, well. I just really feel for everybody there.
Yeah, it is infuriating, and they're doing zero to help the situation at all. I want to show you guys again. I played this at the beginning. I'm going to play it again. This is Mayor Karen. This is the mayor of Los Angeles. This was her response when a reporter asked her why she was gone and what her reaction is to what's happening.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor?
DEI.
Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
Just dumbfounded.
Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position?
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a DEI hire. Very dumb person. Hired based off race, probably, because she's black. I'm sorry, but it's true. They been running this show for the last 4 years, the DEI program, the DEI movement. It's coming to a halt. No one in America is effing with it anymore. We are not voting based off your skin color. We are voting based off your brains, what you're capable of doing and producing for the American people. This woman is just an idiot. I mean, sadly, all the Democrats in power aren't the smallest tool, the smartest tool in the shed. I'll tell you that much.
Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster?
Nope, she doesn't care.
No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
Oh yeah, MAGA all day. What's going on, Valley Joe? A lot of my family lives in Vallejo. That's funny. I like that. Make California great again. Yeah, hopefully they don't burn it down before we can fix it up. We need Trump back now. Pronto.
Madam Mayor, let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
Look at this tyrant.
Hold on 1 second.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
The disrespect that these politicians, especially on the Democrat side, show. They don't even give a response. No remorse at all. She had just dumbfounded on her face because it's a DEI hire. There's nothing good that this woman produces, just woke nonsense. She can't even say sorry that I wasn't there to help with the issues that our party created that was preventable. Instead, she just ignores and walks away like a little stooge.
Can you take this down?
David, as you say, she wasn't very keen to answer any of your questions.
Yeah, she's
and
definitely a joke.
Chiefs are also admitting that they just don't have enough personnel to take out the fires.
Yeah, they're fighting all sorts of challenges. They're talking about a water shortage. There are reports of fire hydrant failures. They've been unable to use firefighting aircraft for months.
Because they defunded the firefighters, the firefighting department. Plus, they fired a lot for not getting the you-know-what. Tyrants. Democrats are tyrants. So I want to end the video with parent-teacher conference. These two parents own the left, and I'm here for it. I want you guys to react to it with me. And then we're going to end on that note, but these videos are golden.
We're tired of this globalist new world order shit. I'm not taking it anymore. We're standing and we're rising against this. We're fighting for the children.
Yes.
We don't care what you do in your free time as adults. This is about the children. Where are the numbers?
Yep.
You're passing them through here, huh? This is a temporary pass-through station, right? Where are the numbers on these kids? Where are the numbers? Where are they going? Their final destination. Where are those numbers at? Exactly. May God bless you all. May God touch your hearts with the morals that we were given from the get-go. Wake up and start caring about the truth.
Thank you, Ms. Sparks.
Jesus loves Q. I love that. This is the best. I saved the best for last. This father goes off on these Democrats right to their faces and tells them all liberal DEI nonsense. Let's hear it.
It's Mike Fody, and I'm from Buckingham Township, and I honestly don't know what country I'm living in anymore.
Yep.
You made the statement, of course, you've heard it so many times tonight, people violate the laws anytime they want. And you said it so cavalierly, so arrogantly. Of course, Mr. Harvey voted with you. Can you look at me, please? You disrespected the other voters. Thank you. A little bit of respect. You know, I agree. You don't get punished anymore. That's where the country is because of the losing liberal left policies.
Yep.
One state steal less than $900. It's okay. I go to Home Depot the other day to buy a tool. It's locked up. I asked the guy why. Oh, they come in shopping carts. They load it up, and we can't stop them. We're not allowed to do anything. They're the garbage policies you people endorse.
Yep.
Okay?
Yes.
Oh, but you know what? If you're a conservative Christian grandmother and pray outside an abortion clinic, you get 10 years under the FACE Act.
That's true. That is true. I don't know exactly when that happened, but I think it was under the Trump administration. There was a woman just praying outside an abortion clinic, and she got like 10 plus years. Yet they're during the BLM riots or the Palestine riots, literally attacking cops, attacking people based off their skin color, attacking people in college dorms, like cornering them to where they can't get anywhere. And it's just okay. There's no consequences at all. But you pray outside an abortion clinic because you're pro-life and you get arrested for 10 years. Freaking joke.
That's a fact. Yeah.
That's really fair, isn't it? So let me tell you something. Thank God on January 20th, there's a new sheriff in town.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
I know this pains you,
Amen.
losing liberals, but you're going to have to get some TDS training. It's called Trump derangement syndrome.
Yes.
Because there's not going to be any more DEI. There's no more men and women's sports. There's no more men and women's locker rooms.
Yes.
Imagine your junior high daughter, self-conscious about her body, and she has to change or take a shower next to a naked man.
Nope, wouldn't happen. Wouldn't happen. My lady, she has kids, and this is something I would never even deal with, because obviously we're gonna have, I intend to be with her long term, but she has a daughter, younger daughter, and I wouldn't even let. If I saw a guy or heard a guy in her locker room, you best believe I would slap him crazy. I wouldn't allow it. I'm so against men pretending to be women going into the women's restroom just because it's what you think you want to do and you don't care what anyone might think. It's such disgusting behavior. And it's always the Democrats that okay these type of policies. Always the woke left, these DEI I'm trying not to cuss. I'm trying to be very proper. But I'm just sick of the Democrats and their policies. They are ruining our country, ruining the world, and there's no consequences. I hope Trump comes in day one and locks these criminals up for treason.
These are the sick policies you people endorse. So that's gone.
Yes, Valley Joe, couldn't have said any better. Persecution is real. Stand strong with Christ Jesus to preserve these tyrants. Yes, find God. If you don't believe in Jesus, believe in something. Find something to believe in. I actually am going to start going back to church because I think we are living in biblical times, and you need to find God. It's so crazy right now with the fake alien invasion plus nuclear war plus all the states are just blowing up in carnage, and then we have Joe Biden asleep at the wheel while his son's smoking crack, and then Kamala Harris just laughing her way out of the White House. We need Trump back now.
There's not going to be any more rapists and murderers coming over the border. And I just got word that the killer rapist, illegal immigrant, just got sentenced for killing Laken Riley. See, that's something you should cheer for, guys, not just look at me. No more illegal aliens on the voter rolls. That was a great one, wasn't it? You're fighting to put...
I mean to keep pausing it, but I want to comment on that because this election, too big to rig, thank the Lord that happened. But in California, they were not checking voter ID, and that pissed me off. So I made my opinion very well known. But they weren't checking voter ID. And can you imagine if we had voter ID in the state of California? It would be a Trump landslide, especially in Cali. I mean, the amount of love I see for Trump in the state compared to Kumala is not even close.
Put them back on. That's just great. But you know what? I know it pains you, but thank God Donald J. Trump is going to reverse it all. And by the way, please stay with these policies because 80% of Americans don't want them, never did, but you guys are too dense to understand this country is founded on Christian values. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Smartest dad right there. He should run for office right there. We need people with common sense who are America first. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm going to start doing shows like this pretty often again, and I'm going to start doing interviews again soon. So hope you guys have a blessed night. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Love you guys. Have a great day. Peace.